We have with us Mr. T.S. Gopalakrishnan, Director, Multiple Special Steel Private Limited, a science graduate who graduated from selling iron tonic to marketing iron in alloy steel from a journey of hardship, perseverance, and luck, right from struggling to sell the famous Calcutta-made tool steel against the then-established brands like Buderus and Bola and Asab in the very conservative Indian market, to reach out for an European quality steel mill, first convincing the mill about the Indian potential, which was rather easy compared with selling the first 2.5 kg of Esquilos 2083 ESR material. So, ladies and gentlemen, please get your hands together as we welcome Mr. T.S. Gopalakrishnan on stage. And if you have the brochure, you will read the introduction as well, and you will wonder, what is iron tonic? Just as I have wondered. So, let's ask Mr. Gopalakrishnan to explain to us what is iron tonic.
Well, as you know, everybody now says back to basics. So thank you very much, Mr. Pankaj, for waking up my audience and including me. So coming back to the itsy-bitsy of the iron and iron tonic relationship, I started my career as a pharmaceutical representative selling iron tonics, going to the doctors who are my customers and marketing my product. So now I have ended up selling actual iron. That's it. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. After a fantastic presentation by Mr. Pankaj, I feel a little bit down to earth. From aerospace and back to basics and earth. So here I am going to attempt a small thing about multiple special steels private limited. Thank you, gentlemen. Now coming to the presentation part, I'd like to introduce my company. It's Multiple Special Steels Private Limited, a 50-plus-year-old company. Earlier, we were doing only trading of iron and steel, and in the year 2005, we had the opportunity to shake hands with Lucchini RS, the Italian steel mill. And as I told you, we are one of the oldest steel traders in India. The branches or representatives in Delhi, Pune, Chennai, Coimbatore, Hosur, and of course headquartered at Bangalore. We are the exclusive service center for Lucchini RS grades in India since 2005. We are an ISO 9001-2015 certified company. Why I am stressing this is now our next step is going for AS 9120B, which is aerospace. We have almost 15 to 25 cutting machines and the biggest capacity of 2 meter by 1.5 meter. Sorry. And coming to the main subject, as DK Saab had told, I have to avoid trying to sell my product. I have to bring in technology. So I'll try my level best, sir. And the one thing which I had in mind is now everywhere lightweighting is the talk, whether it is plastics or structurals or even the engine parts where you have the BS6 norm coming up very fast. So where the engines has to be modified and the weight has to be reduced. So I am taking up this product of die casting steel. And as you see, an optimal hot work tool steel for die casting should possess all these characteristics like high mechanical properties, thermal fatigue and hot cracking resistance, high hardness, wear resistance, oxidation resistant, ductility, high fracture toughness, high hardenability, and high thermal stability. And in the world of light alloys die casting, there are several standards in the world. The basic two important things are as per the North American NADCA specification and the German VDG. And as per NADCA specification, the preferred steel is double purified ESR material with phosphorus, controlled phosphorus, and impact capability, which is measured in joules, because I am a layman compared to your experience and your expertise, but I am just going through the routine. H13 has 10.8 to 13.6 joules, 2343 that is H11, and 2340 and high molybdenum material, which is a variant of 1.2367, sir. Now, hot work tool steels for die casting are produced by special forging techniques consisting, among other things, in upsetting and the ESR ingot. This allows to obtain larger bar than the initial ESR ingot, and utilization of smaller ESR ingots allows to maintain segregation level of reduced severity. The technology to manufacture hot work tool steels with all the required characteristics is extremely complex and needs dedicated manufacturing units like pouring peat for bottom pouring and electroslag remelting facilities. And in Lucchini, we can go up to a maximum weight of 32 tons of ESR ingot. And basically, ESR technology offers the advantages of increased material toughness, high level of micro cleanliness, increased material isotropy, very low segregation indices. And this is the basic structure of ESR ingot, where the electrode is the material where we need it as a ESR block, and it is inserted in a water-cooled copper mold containing slag and molten steel, and the melted steel layer by layer is sedimented in the bottom to give the best microstructure. And to achieve the properties required by NADCA spec as well as VDG is not a problem. But nowadays, the present great challenge is to maintain the same level throughout the whole dimensional range of bars, increasingly constantly according to the market demand. Nowadays, the biggest dimension of an aluminum or magnesium die casting die are about 1600 by 450 or 500 up to 2 meters, and the distribution market do not accept a bar less than 1 meter width. In order to maintain this requirement, we have set up, Lucchini has set up forging remelted ingots, and for the bigger sizes, we forge a single block using 3D forging technology. And what is 3D forging technology? Is normally the ingot is forged for width as well as thickness, but in 3D technology, even the length side of the block, heated block, is forged so to obtain the best microstructure and to reduce the dependence on the grain orientation. As you can see, why 3D? In order to guarantee a higher forging ratio, also on big size blocks, forging ratio of 5:1 in compliance to Ford DC 2010 and GM AWQ 49658. We can achieve thickness of up to 700 mm thickness and width up to 1700. How it is made? 3D forging consists in producing single forged blocks by multiple setup steps of forging, and the result is better grain refining, optimal microstructure, improved heat check resistance. The bane of any die casting people is heat checks. Wherever we go, the problem is heat checks, heat checks. So how to check the heat? So this is one of the ways Lucchini as a mill is trying to come out with, so that the end customer, the component manufacturer, is benefited. And what is it advised for? Blocks for light alloys, die casting dies for structural parts and other severe applications. Today we are talking about weight reduction in the vehicles to improve on the mileage and improve on the what you call less use of the carbon, petrol and fuel things. So this will help in a long way. Nowadays, single structure of the vehicle is made in aluminum, and even the door trims are also will be a single piece which can be forged from a big block. And 3D forging, as put it simply, sir, first it is upsetting for the thickness, then horizontal forging for the width, and finally the length side it is done for 3D forging effect. And I can't help it, just 2 slides of our product which has been manufactured with 3D forging, without 3D forging also, both are available. And in India we follow the NATCA spec, so we keep stock of Esquilos 2344 HDC. German spec also available, 2344 DC. And coming back to the light weighting of the engine blocks, we have a grade to offer. It is a modified 2343 with low silicon called Esquilos 2340 HDC. And as you see, you have a lot of issues when it is a forged block. Force, higher impact resistance and higher fatigue resistance if you use in the transverse section, and lower impact resistance and lower fatigue resistance in the cross section. And our mill also is guiding us how to do the cutting from the basic blocks, because we cannot keep so many inventories, so we try to keep 1 or 2 blocks, and from that we are cutting. So if you do a wrong cutting also, the end results will be very bad for the end customer. So we are also taking special care to do the cutting as per the mill norms. And this is our latest offering called Esquilos HiMo, high molybdenum for long run molds. Comparing with 2367, this is a modified version, similar warm strength by enhanced toughness. It suits well for long run dies, producing thick wall pieces, also with complicated shapes, suitable for medium size and large dies up to 2 tons. Now finally, coming to the USP for us to embark in this journey of assisting and supporting the die casting segment of for our OEMs is we have had the benefit of the service of Mr. Tyagarajan sir, who has more than 40 years of hands-on experience, not only in tool design, tooling, die maintenance, and even production. He has worked in various executive capacity in Enfield, India, Ashok Leyland, Sundaram Clayton, LML, Sunbeam, and finally he retired from English Tools and Castings as a general manager, works manager. We offer his expertise for your benefit in any one or of all the above areas. And I am not permitted to give some more slides here. One is time, the other one is we are still on the R&D stage. We have started our own small lab where we have started using, testing each piece. So like Mr. Tyagarajan sir is telling, each block is a baby on its own. It has its own characteristics, it has its own horoscope. So I cannot just broadly say 2344, you do the heat treatment as per 2344, no. What we have started doing is, each block as soon as it is coming, we are taking some small blocks for testing, and we are analyzing, and we are arriving at the right optimal heat treatment for it, and we will be supplying the steel with that R&D so that the end customer gets the best result out of that. And the heat treatment people also will be benefited. So we are working very closely. Right now we don't have any heat treatment setup as our own, but we are working very closely with all the heat treatment people to give you a better product, better life, and better competitiveness. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
May I request Mr. D. Ravi, co-opted member, TAGMA, to hand over a memento to Mr. T.S.Gopalakrishnan, Director, Multiple Special Steel Private Limited. Please get your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, once again for Mr. T.S. Gopalakrishnan. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us.